Hey guys, welcome back. If it took you a while to find this video, it's because you haven't subscribed. So just hit the subscribe button and stop wasting both our times. Thank you. Alright, so I want to start this video just a little bit different. I kind of want to brush over the difference between a movie and a film. Yes, they're the same. They are exactly the same. Movie and film are interchangeable. Okay, let's not make a mistake. They're the same. It's okay to say, I want to see the film, as well as it's okay to say, I want to see the movie. Now, some may argue, and myself included, would say that there is a difference when you say a true film, when you emphasize on it, because that implies, in my opinion, that it's more artistic than, hey, let's munch on some popcorn and enjoy this movie. Okay? A movie is to make money. It doesn't have a mission to change you. It has a mission to just entertain you. When a film is made by an artist, there is a reason. There is a reason for the lighting, a reason for the viewpoint, like a photographer, like a painter. Okay? So, with that being said, let's go over Soni, a Netflix original true film. The synopsis of the Soni movie is from Netflix, and I quote, "While fighting crime against women in Delhi, a short-fused policewoman and her level-headed female boss grapple with gender issues in their own lives." This story follows these two women, and mainly Soni, in their personal lives. They're both cops, struggling through just the issues of life. In all reality, I can't say this is something that I don't see here in the U.S. Police brutality. Women being disrespected just because they're women. And the crazy thing about this film is that it truly follows these two characters, and mainly Soni, again, not just at work, but her home life. It is different. I will warn you now, it is a different type of feel. You're not going to be entertained throughout this whole film. Now, when Soni was on screen, she was amazing. I actually loved it every single time she went to work. When she put on the police uniform, something was going down, because short-fused is underselling it. She is hot-headed. She goes crazy, and she is not to be disrespected. I loved her in this film. Honestly, I did. I'm going to mess up her name, but Gitika? I want to see more of her. Okay? I really do. Her acting was superb. Everybody's acting, honestly, I didn't feel like anybody was kind of, just kind of shorthanding. Everybody in this film really put in the effort. I believed every single one of them. I loved it. Even the side characters that kind of were in the background, I loved it. And following Soni, seeing how she needs to calm down, and her boss is like, hey, this is ridiculous. Like this, you're causing so much attention to us. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get fired. Can you bring it back? And she even tells a story of when she was younger, about how she saw police brutality. She saw it. And even though they had a great reason to be disgusted by this pervert in the film, she says, it still makes me sick to my stomach, because that's not how things should be. And bringing that to our real lives, my real life. You see in the news all the time that another cop beat up someone else, and sometimes they deserve it, and sometimes they don't. And I'm not going to judge which one does and which one doesn't, but the reality is, it shouldn't happen. And this film really goes into that. And then there's parts where and I'm going to talk about the pacing here. She's home. It slows down. I truly felt like I was just sitting in a corner unnoticed. Probably like a fly on the wall. And at points, it gets awkward. And here I would say they needed a score. They really did. They needed music in the background because it gets kind of awkward. There's actually a long shot, and I see what the director was trying to do here. You know, there's just a voice on the radio saying the news, and I knew, I mean, just me, I love seeing movies and I love seeing films. I knew that that was relevant to the story. I knew I had to pay attention to that voice sounding very far on the radio because there was nothing going on screen. Literally, she wasn't doing anything. She walked to the bathroom and back, and it was a long shot. And to me, it was too long. And because there was no music, it was boring. At that point of the movie, I got bored. And I did not want to see her at home anymore. I wanted to see her only at work because that's where the excitement happened. Past that, let's talk about the visual. Yes, absolutely, 100%. This movie was shot in Dolly, on location, and it was shot in a different light. I would say to the director, I want to see more. I don't know how many films you have out there. I don't know how many movies you have out there, but Ivan Air, I think I'm pronouncing your name right. I want to see more. You've captured my interest to see more from you. The visuals in this film were fantastic. The acting, especially from Jatika, fantastic. I loved it. The movie did slow down a bit though, and I'm sorry, but I do have to bash on that. And because there was no music, no score in the background, it did drag. There are some scenes in this movie, honestly, in my head, I was like, we can cut that out. We can cut that out. We can cut that out. The movie is 1 hour and 37 minutes with the credits. As much as we could have cut out, it's probably going to be like 1 hour and 15-minute movie. But I don't think all of it was necessary. Again, this is an artistic film, so, you know, we got to take it. We got to take it, good and the bad. Did it do its job? There's a scene in this movie near the end where one of the characters feels embarrassed because something happened to this particular character at school. As she was telling the story of what happened to her, I laughed. Yes, I'm a jerk. I laughed. I thought that was funny. I was like, she'll get over it. But when she said what she felt like doing, it took me back. And I said, whoa, I don't even think you're allowed to say that. This day and age, I don't think you can say that. It took me back. It actually made my heart drop just a little bit. And I know that this is simply a film. I think this film, did its job. Because it made me double take. It made me say, wait a minute, whoa. And then on top of that, I thought, maybe it's a mistake in translation. Do not be alarmed or surprised. This whole film is in a different language. I think they say 3 or 4 sentences in English, but the whole film is in Hindi. So subtitles are needed for us who don't speak the language. I thought, maybe that was just a translation error, but it was repeated afterwards as well. Same words. And I said, this director is doing that on purpose. The writer to this film is doing that on purpose. And I'm glad. I'm glad that they did. Did it do its job? Absolutely. It made me think about other people and how hard their life may be. And how sometimes you just kind of have to swallow it, but still do the right thing. I don't want to go into details because I will spoil the movie. So let's just say, is it worth the watch? How many eyes? How many eyes? How many eyes? Got my eyes right here. Got one of them. Two of them. Three of them. I honestly think that this film deserves 4 eyes. 4 out of the 6 eyes. If you can't watch a whole movie in a different language, obviously it's not for you. But if you can, I recommend it. I encourage it, definitely. Is it the best film in the world? No, absolutely not. Will you get bored? Yes. It's only an hour and a half, and I think it could have been shorter. But the whole cast did a phenomenal job. And the director, I'm gonna have to Google him. I'm gonna have to Google him. And Gatika, I want to see more of you. Absolutely. 4 eyes. There it is, right there. Get them out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, and I hope that this does give you kind of pause on the next time you see a movie or a film, and you see that it's in a completely different language. Honestly, if you can sit there and read it, we can learn from it. All right, so thank you again. Hope you guys have a good night, good day, good afternoon, and good evening. All right.